What's up, everyone? It's great to see you all again. So, let's get right into it. Take a look at this picture. This was me about 6 months ago. I was hitting the gym for sometimes 5 times a week, pushing myself hard. I thought I was eating a ton of protein, sleeping 8 hours a night, doing everything the books tell you to do. But for a full year, the scale barely moved. I was stuck at 70 kilograms, feeling frustrated, and honestly, pretty close to giving up. I thought my genetics just weren't cut out for building muscle. Now, look at this. This is me today. 77 kilo. That's a 7 kilogram gain in just 6 months. And it's not fat. It's solid, hard-earned muscle. So, what changed? Did I start taking some secret supplement? Did I double my workout time? Nope. The crazy thing is, I actually started spending less time in the gym. The change I made was simple, but it was a complete game changer for my progress. It's something that so many people, especially beginners and intermediates, get wrong. And today, I'm going to share exactly what that one thing is, how I figured it out, and how you can apply it to your own training to finally break through your own plateaus. So, rewind to a year ago. My typical chest day looks something like this. I'd start with a flat barbell bench press, maybe 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Then I'd move to incline dumbbell press, another 4 sets. Then maybe some cable flies, and a few sets on the pec deck machine to finish off. Sound familiar? It's a classic bodybuilding routine. The problem wasn't the exercises themselves. The problem was how I was performing them. I was obsessed with the numbers. I wanted to lift heavy, to hit that magical 8 to 12 rep range for hypertrophy. So, I'd load up the bar, and my first set would be a real grind. I'd maybe get 10 reps, but the last 2 were probably pretty ugly. My form would break down. I'd use a bit of momentum. My ego was doing the lifting, not my muscles. Then, for the second set, my strength would drop. I'd get maybe 8 reps. By the 3rd and 4th sets, I was struggling to get 6 clean reps. I was getting fatigued, but was I actually stimulating muscle growth effectively? The answer was no. I was sacrificing quality for quantity. I was so focused on hitting a certain number of reps with a certain weight that I completely ignored the most crucial factor for muscle growth: mechanical tension. My muscles were under tension, sure, but it wasn't consistent, it wasn't controlled, and it wasn't targeted. I was just moving weight from point A to point B. This is what we call junk volume. It feels hard. It makes you sweat. It makes you sore, but it does very little to actually signal your body to build new muscle tissue. The light bulb moment for me came while watching a video from a pro bodybuilder I really respect. He wasn't talking about some new, fancy exercise. He was talking about the basics, specifically about the concept of training to failure, and what that really means. It's not about lifting until you physically can't move the weight anymore with sloppy form. It's about reaching a point where you cannot complete another repetition with perfect technique. And that was the key. That was the one thing I needed to fix. My definition of a working set. I decided to strip everything back. I lowered the weight on all my exercises. Yes, it was a hit to my ego, I won't lie. Going from benching 80 kilos to 60 felt like a step backward. But my goal wasn't to impress anyone in the gym. My goal was to build muscle. So here's what I did. I started focusing on what I now call quality reps. For every single rep of every single set, I had a mental checklist. First, control. I focused on a slow and controlled negative, or eccentric, portion of the lift. At least 2 to 3 seconds on the way down. This is where a huge amount of muscle damage and stimulation occurs. Second, a powerful, explosive concentric, or the lifting part of the movement. But explosive doesn't mean sloppy. It means contracting the target muscle as hard as possible to move the weight. Third, and this is crucial, pausing. I started incorporating a brief 1-second pause at the peak contraction point of the exercise. For a bicep curl, that's at the very top. For a lat pull down, it's with the bar at my chest, squeezing my lats. This transformed my workouts. Suddenly, 60 kilos on the bench press felt heavier than 80 ever did. My chest was on fire. I couldn't just rely on momentum or other muscle groups to help out. My target muscles were forced to do all the work. And here's the biggest difference. Instead of my sets getting worse as I went on, they became more consistent. My new approach was to pick a weight where I could fail with good form between 8 and 12 reps. My first set, I might get 12 reps, with that last one being a real struggle to maintain form. I'd rest for about 90 seconds, and on my second set, I'd aim for the same rep target. Maybe I'd only get 10 perfect reps this time. Fine. By the third set, I might hit 8. Each set was taken to what we call true technical failure. The volume wasn't junk anymore. It was high quality, effective volume. This shift in focus from how much weight to how well I am lifting the weight had an incredible effect. Within the first month, I felt a difference. My muscle-mind connection improved dramatically. I could actually feel the specific muscles I was trying to work, contracting and stretching. The pumps I was getting in the gym were insane. And then, the numbers on the scale started to creep up. Slowly at first, but consistently. After 3 months, I had gained about 3 kilograms. I was stronger, too. That 60-kilo bench press I started with was now feeling easier. I was able to move up to 65, 10 all while maintaining that strict, perfect form. I was applying progressive overload the right way, by getting stronger on my lifts with good form, not by just adding more weight and sacrificing technique. And over the next 3 months, the gains just kept coming. I broke through 75 kilograms and finally hit 77. That's 7 kilograms in 6 months after being stuck for an entire year. And it wasn't because of a new diet, a new supplement, or some magic workout plan. It was because I fixed the very foundation of my training. The quality of each and every rep. I stopped chasing numbers and started chasing stimulation. So, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, if you're training hard but not seeing the results you want, I want you to try this. For the next month, forget about lifting as heavy as you possibly can. Lower the weight by 20 to 30% on all your main exercises. Focus on a slow, controlled negative. Explode on the positive. Pause and squeeze at the peak contraction. Take each set to technical failure, not sloppy failure. Film yourself if you need to check your form. It might feel like a step back at first, but I promise you, if you stick with it, you will feel a difference. You'll build a much stronger foundation, improve your muscle-mind connection, and you'll finally give your body the high-quality stimulus it needs to grow. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. This one small change made all the difference for me, and I'm confident it can do the same for you. Give it a try and let me know how it goes in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your progress. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more no-nonsense fitness advice. I'll see you in the next one.